now, there's still a degree of social mobility where if you're intelligent and you're perspicacious and you're indefatigable and you work hard and you manage to find a gap and you really dedicate yourself and you try your best, you can make enough money to get out. In 20 years, the rich are going to be rich and the poor are going to be poor, and it's done. It is done. Because the average price of a house is going to just continue to skyrocket. The wages are not going to follow it. You're never going to own any assets. The assets are going to be owned by all the rich people. You're going to be paying us rent. It's over. And this is another thing I find interesting, because people come to me often. The question I get asked most is, Andrew, I lack motivation. You have 10 years left to save your bloodline from eternal slavery, and you lack motivation? You are born to lose, sir. You are a loser. All of your ancestors who fought saber-toothed tigers should have just laid down and died, because they fought their best for you to be born so you could jack off to Pornhub during the last few years where you stand a chance to save your last name from eternal serfdom. You are a dickhead, and you deserve to be poor. The last thing you should lack in the mess of the world today is motivation, because you are running out of time. And I'm telling you, as a rich man who made it out, I can see the gap is closing. I can see it. So you should certainly see it. I'm above in the clouds, looking down on the hole closing in. You're down below, looking up, watching it close, and you lack motivation to build a ladder. Oh, well, maybe tomorrow. Doom-de-doom. Maybe government will save me. Maybe if I vote for the liberals, they'll give me money. Slave minds, clowns, fools. The last thing you should lack in the world today is motivation, because truly people are running out of time. And I find that extremely interesting, that not only when you go to college do you end up in a bunch of debt, not only do you end up owing a bunch of money, even worse, you waste time. You waste years for a dream. And the Matrix is very good at this. It dangles a carrot all the time. Get good GCSEs. Get good in college. Get a good degree. Then you'll be rich. Pay off your mortgage, you'll be rich. Just pay off your student loan. Don't worry, just keep working. The carrot's coming. You'll get it one day. When I was 16, when I saw the Ferrari, I knew this was a lie. I was like, there's no way that man. Next time you see a rich guy, go up to him and say, how'd you get rich? I've never heard anyone say university. Ever! I've never heard anyone say it's a lie. It's a scam. When I was 16, I saw the guy in the Ferrari. I was like, I'm going to college and he isn't. And he ain't going to work. He knows something I don't know. I knew at 16 everything they tell me was a lie. But there's still people who think they have 5 years to waste in college. 5 years. I'm 37. Let's conservatively estimate I make, for myself, $250,000 a day, let's say. 5 years ago, I was probably making 20 grand a day. That's the difference 5 years can make. 5 years. And they're going to sit there and do what? Read a book from 22 years ago? Go party? Oh, fraternity. Bro, what's really scary is this. I'm 37. I grew up on a council estate. I was broke for most of my life. I made all my money myself. And even I have disdain for the poor. Because I look at them and go, you didn't try at all. I did it. With all of the pain I went through and all the problems I had, while also fighting and becoming a kickboxing world champion, I still managed to do it. You started at a higher bracket than me. You started from a middle income home. Your dad was, you had food. I didn't have food and I was a world champion. How did you fail so massively? And I look at them and just think of them as, you're an idiot. And if I feel that, imagine how the elites look at us. Imagine you're born into a lineage, a bloodline that's been in charge of the banks forever. Imagine how you view poor people. You think you give a shit whether they live or die? I'm talking about someone who's only been rich for 10 years. And when someone comes and complains to me about being broke, I'm like, oh, you're a dummy. You didn't even try. So imagine you were born filthy rich and your family's always been rich. And you're told about how your family's always controlled everything because you're smarter than everybody else. Imagine how much disdain the elites truly have for the common man. And I'm talking as a common man who made a little bit of money. Then you start to understand how this world's really working. Because they don't give a shit about the common man. If you say to the elites, if you pour third worlders into this nation, you will make 3% more per year. However, the common man will have to deal with crime, rape, murder, drugs, human trafficking. He'll sit there and go, I don't care about the common man. 3%. Okay. Doesn't care. Why would he care? Then you have a community where the only people who can protect it left are the men. The men who care about their daughters, care about their wives. But those men have to be masculine men, brave men. Well, they're under assault. We discussed that for the last 2 hours. So now they're afraid. All the buildings look the same anyway. Why don't we just move? Let's just move. Let's just scurry away. Then you start to lose the major cities of your nation, this hypothetical nation. The major cities start to fall. Everyone starts saying stupid things like, it's a nice country if you stay away from the cities. You know what's a nice country if you stay away from all the cities? Afghanistan. I can go hide in the forest in Afghanistan with a little tent and just sit there by myself. I'd probably be fine. I probably wouldn't get drone striked. I'm not in Kabul. And they don't seem to understand this. And then they hide and they run away, and eventually they're crushed, and it's over. And the whole nation falls. And the great thing about globalists being globalists is that they have the whole globe. And all the globalists get on a private jet with their families, fly to another place that they haven't destroyed, and they find a way to continue to profit off the burning trash heap that they just abandoned. They don't care. 3% more profit, doesn't matter. Common man, doesn't matter. And I'm telling you that they think like this because I catch myself and I have to correct myself thinking like this.